Okay. So I'm guessing now you can hear me. If you're out there and you can hear me now, say hello. Give me the little thumbs up. My goodness. I've been talking for 3 whole minutes with the sound muted. It's going to be that kind of night. Anyway, as I was saying, this is our microscope. And the microscope is not connecting to the PC. So it will not connect to the PC, unfortunately. I have been trying for the last hour to get it to connect. It will not do that. So my goal was to get hello, how are you? My goal was to get these this cotton under the microscope, but the microscope is not connecting to the computer. So, so that's the difficulty we're having tonight. I should have this troubleshot by next week. So we're going to talk about that, the cotton, because I can show you on our PC or on our computer here. And let me just get this. See if I can get in pretty close with this. Okay, so here is, oh my gosh, it's like really, really close. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. Here is the cotton fluff off of the cotton ball. And remember, that's spelled BOLL. We talked about this last week. Here is the cotton ball, BOLL. As we discussed last week. Now, remember, last week we went and we felt through all of this material and we were pulling out the seeds, which people had to do manually until there was such a thing as the cotton gin, right? And so then the cotton gin you would have used to run through the cotton staple and pulled that cotton staple, and it would removed the seeds. Now, so here's what the seeds look like in their kind of grody naked form. So these are the cotton seeds, and you can see just how attached the fibers are to the seed. So that is cottonseed. Like you can just feel it with your finger in there. And that's kind of weird and gross. I know. It's like, is it weird and gross? It is weird and gross. Okay. So we've also got some of this cotton, and I'm just gonna pull just a couple of these like very loose strands out, and if I can just get this down on this mat, and we're gonna come in really closely because this is pretty good, this camera on our, and it's on a arm. Okay, so we're kind of getting in there pretty good. This is not quite as good as the microscope. It's a little fuzzy. Okay, I'm gonna put my finger in here so that you can see. All right, there's my finger. Okay, that's really good. It's not as good as the microscope. The microscope will get right up in there, into the individual fibers, but you can just see that this little wisp here, and if I give it a little tug, okay, you can just see how long these fibers are. And that is the staple of the cotton that we are talking about. Okay. And so that wispiness, um, these strands are what makes the cotton strands for your thread. Okay. And if you see here, I'm giving just this little bit of twist. See if I can get that back. There we go. It's really easy to lose it. Um, so if I'm giving this just even the tiniest bit of twist, you can see that they sort of grab each other and pull together. Now, this is 100% cotton. This is cotton off of the ball and in its completely raw form. Like there is no option there. Um, and so this is the kind of thing that would be twisted into a strand, and you can really see my thumbprint there, right? So you get a sense of now when you are working with very, very fine uh cotton, you're working with very fine thread. This is the kind of thing that's just rolled and spun and turned into thread. So it's very bumpy. I apologize. I know like that shaky camera is like not great, but um I'm just trying to show you how this would have been twisted and turned um into a thread. So, we're going to be looking at this some more next week with um the actual camera, or with the microphone, or microscope. Cheers, it's Culver's night here. I do have some new things to show you. Um in our stuff going on here. So let's do that. Let's make sure let me turn that off. La la la. Okay. So we've got some new products that just came into the shop. And so we we want to get through some of this really quickly because I have lots of other great things to show you. We've got new bundles. These are kind of smaller color, fun color bundles. We've got this one here, which is called Rainforest. And that's these pretty greens on into the teals, which is unusual. And then we have the pinks and purples. We have this one here called Sunset. Yep, that one's called Sunset. And then we have the last one, which is called Sea Breeze. And so, as you can see, we've got these lovely colors sort of all joined together. These have been added to our fat quarter bins. So, if you have dug through our fat quarter bins, we are all restocked. I know you're very excited. Okay, so we've got restocks on all of the fat quarter bins, and we're doing lots and lots of other restocks as well. So color bundles, color cotton shades, these are called. And they are kind of a modelly mix. As you can see, sort of a blender. Really nice. They read as solid, but then also up close, they have that little bit of dimension to them. So we've got these cotton shades in. Also, we've gotten We got this one in, which was the 1930s bundle. This is Playtime 30s by Cottage Mama. And we also broke this out into our fat quarter bins. We have a restock on the Ditty bags from By Annie. So those of you who are our By Annie fans, look at these adorable zipper bags. This pattern, look at that price. You can't beat it. Great little pattern. Okay, very excited about this restock. And then the piece de la resistance restock of the day, our Smockatumi book and the templates are finally back in stock at the same time. Can I tell you, this has taken a long time for both of these things to be in stock here in our store at the same time. We usually have one, and then we don't have this one, and then we get this one, and then we don't have that one. Guess what? They're finally both in stock here at the same time. Thank goodness. It has been this game of hot dogs and hot dog buns, and I'm so glad that they're back. Yay! So we've got these in stock right now. Those of you who have been fans of our book, waiting for it to come back in stock, it's here. And of course, our ever popular template, they're back finally. And it's like, yay, they hit at the same time finally. So hopefully this means they will be in stock for a while. Because girl, I have been, yeah. Okay, so I have two other things to show you before I get to tonight's project, because now that we do not have the cotton to show you because our microscope is not working. You love the book and the template, Cheryl. Woo! Yay! I'm so glad they're back in stock. And I am telling you, like, it is, you could come in here at any given time and we'll be out of one or the other. So I'm so happy they're back. It's been one of those kinds of summers where it's like one comes in, the other one goes out. I tell ya. This is really interesting. I had so I went to a couple of quilt guilds back to back, and I mentioned that I love vintage sewing books. Okay, if you do not know me, I have an absolute adoration for books that are quilting books or sewing books, but from like super bygone eras. And these two are incredible. There's this one here, quilting as a hobby. And this is from, let's find it here, by Dorothy Brightbill. And this one is, oh gosh, you're gonna make me do Roman numerals. Okay, 1950. No, 63. 1963. So it took me a second. However, look at this. It is in black and white. This is how they're telling you how to quilt. And it is really not heavy on the instructions. There's like this kind of quilting motif that they want you to put on like a chair, but it is not So, and they talk about like trapunto. I mean, these are cool. See, like that's neat, right? From a trapunto standpoint. This is why I like these old books, because they talk about this stuff in kind of like weird abstract ways, but they don't really give you like, this is practically one of the only color pictures. There's like 2 or 3 color pictures in here total. And so again, you have to look at these from like 1960s. Okay, here's a like an album block from like a Baltimore album. Um like it is so weird. It's more about like how it fits in your decor. Um I could do the chair, Cheryl. I really could. So then they're like, I mean, they really are not good on the instructions, but here they're talking about like applique, and then they go into a whole series of like um pieced borders, but they don't tell you how to do this. Right? It's just, here's examples of pieced borders. With allowing a 1/2 inch on all sides for seams. So they're sewing these with 1/2 inch seams, which is kind of nutty. Not a whole lot. Oh, look, make a quickie quilt. Cross-stitched quilts, which were kit kind of things. Double Irish chain. There's literally no directions here. Double Irish chain. Popular old pattern. Blah, blah, blah. Nothing here about a size. 2 colors. Here's the rows. No size. No size. No size of the blocks, no nothing. You're just going to have to wing it. And there's this here is the only picture of an example. That's it. That's all they got. So they talk about every kind of quilting in here. Look, there's some more diagrams. That's it. That's all. You're on your own. Oh, how to decorate with old quilts. Gee, thanks. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It's funny, but it's not funny, right? Because it's like, this is all you had in 1960 something or other. Quilting as a hobby. All right, so then the other one, The Romance of the Patchwork Quilt in America. This is a thick boy. This book, let's see when this one was written. Feels like the 50s. Yep. 1945. No, 35. An X is 10, right? Let's all do our so MCM, and that's 1900, and then you have 3 X's, those are 10s, and then a 5. A V is 5. So 1935. This is from 1935. This feels like it would be from the 60s. To quilt lovers everywhere. World without end. So yeah, this is more of like a study, origin and history of quilt making. Okay, I'm kind of here for that. This book, this is right here. This book is a human record of a homecraft art that has played no small part in the growth and development of American life. So it is definitely more of a scholarly text about quilting. And again, you have black and white photos intermixed in with some diagrams of blocks. So I guess it would be like a block identification guide in a way. but also just very interesting. Not a how-to at all. Not at all. So very interesting. And so, of course, for this era, this is the books that they had to go by. So in the 1930s, if you're doing research from a quilting historical perspective, this is something to look at from that perspective. And they were so lovely. These were given to me, these books. So I am very thrilled with that. So tonight we are going to be working on a little project. And I'm gonna do this. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I don't know if you have ever seen this little character. There we go. Let me open it up. Okay. So this little guy is Moodang. If you have never heard of Moodang before, now you have. Moodang is, as you can see, a pygmy hippo. And Moodang is very angry. Okay, very lots of jokes around the internet about Moodang being ungovernable. Very feisty little baby pygmy hippo. And I think Moodang is one of the cutest things I've ever seen. And I thought it would be very fun to make a Moodang quilt. Okay? So, we're going to be making Moodang. And this is how I take a drawing. Now, I drew this before the show. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline Moodang, and then Moodang is going to go onto my fabric. I'm going to make Moodang out of fabric. I'm very excited. Okay, so you have to start with this project. You have to start by taking your drawing and you're going to draw over your lines with a marker. And so again, I'm taking my pencil sketch here and I'm just drawing over those pencil lines. And I'm just trying to get like the little, like this, the character's kind of essence. I don't know. You're just trying to take the drawing and draw over the lines with your marker. And for those of you that have never taken one of my cartooning classes, I teach sort of how to do these drawings in that cartooning class. So again, if you're not a cartoonist, oh my gosh, this is like a big old thing fell over. It's gonna be one of those nights. Can I just say? So you're just taking your marker and you're sort of drawing over these pencil marks. So one of the things to note here is that you're seeing me draw all these sort of kind of like bubbles, and those are going to be the places for Mudang's um like the shiny bits of Mudang. So, if you look at Mudang here, okay, you'll see that Mudang has all these like bits of shiny because she's wet. So that's what we're kind of doing. And you're also seeing like a couple other things here. And I mean, I'm just going over these pencil marks. And that's giving me kind of a rundown here of what she's gonna look like all done. So we've got like a bubble, and then we've got like a bubble here. So cute. Okay, it's getting there. And then there's parts of Mudang that are pink, and we're going to be doing that like so. Okay, so now I've taken my pencil drawing and turned it into a marker drawing. And I even have the fabric here. We're going to do all of this here in the video. So get ready. Okay. So now I'm using a piece of Heat and Bond Light. This is my fusible of choice. I have been using Heat and Bond Light for decades. Okay. And I mean that literally. I've been using it for almost 20 years now. And my quilts that are 20 years old with Heat and Bond Light in it, there are no issues with it whatsoever. It's still soft and pliable and needleable and the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just putting my drawing here, and you can see under underneath here, you can see the lines, which is what I want. And I'm going to take a minute here, and I'm going to draw with my marker the biggest outline first, which is Mudang's body. And don't worry about going over the Heat and Bond Light logo. That doesn't ever come on your fabric. Okay, so we're gonna put little Mudang here. We're going to do all of this body shape, which is going to be out of a gray fabric. Okay, so that looks like all of the pieces of Mudang in gray. And we also have like one little foot down here to do. Okay, so that's all of the gray pieces. Now, here's Mudang, the pygmy hippo. I'm so excited about this project, you guys. And now we're going to do these pink sections. We've got two little pink sections that, and inside the ear. So all those pink sections are going to be done out of a different piece of fusible. So we just need to find a spot on the fusible to draw these. And so I'm going to do that here. So there's Moodang's little belly. And then here is a good spot for Moodang's pink mouth. And like that. So then we also have, okay, and then you can even write on this. You can say that this is G for gray and P for pink, so that you remember, which is supposed to be which. And then we have all of these like white highlights. And so we're just going to come to another section of the fusible, and we're going to draw each of these, and they can be all stacked up next to each other so that we don't have to waste a lot of room on our fusible. And notice here that I'm writing like the word leg on there because I want those to be used in the right places. And we've got these two rear end pieces, which are just so stinking cute. And that one. Okay. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we just want to count them to make sure we got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and then the last things we have are Moodang's eyes. And I have that kind of as a little slant. This little, it's not a perfect oval because that's what makes Moodang look so angry. So, I'm just so excited. Okay, so now we have all the pieces of Moodang ready. And I'm gonna plug in my iron. So while I scooch way over here to do that, try not to burn the house down. Okay. All right. I didn't want to plug it in earlier. So here are the colors that I picked out for Moodang. Because, of course, Moodang is a little pygmy hippo baby. And we're using our iron. I'm sorry for all of the shaky cam here because it's been one of those days today. So let's get this out of the way. All right, and we're going to talk about the fabrics that you can use. And I just like to use like scrap pieces. Like this here is just a scrap of my just this pinky peachy color, which is perfect for Moodang's little body. Okay, so this part here. All right. And getting that ready. And then my friends, it comes down to cutting your pieces out. Now, here's the thing. I do not recommend that you use your good fabric scissors when you cut your fusibles. It's just not what we do. Okay. So you find a pair of scissors that you're okay with cutting with paper, and you're cutting your fusible. Okay, and then we're gonna find we're gonna tuck that onto a spot that we are okay with it being cut into. And we don't want to put this in the center, okay? Because that means you're gonna have to cut all the way to it, and that's just a waste of fabric. So what we do is we get this, and cutting out the pink. And you just want to carefully cut this because you don't want your you want the fusible to go all the way to the edge of your fabric too. Okay, so we're cutting this out. Now we're ready to fuse. So what you're going to do is you're going to find, this is a solid, so it has both sides are fusible. Either direction does not matter. But when you are doing this with a fabric with the right and a wrong side, you fuse your things to the wrong side. Okay, so we're just doing this. We're just pressing the fusible onto the fabric, and that is now done. And we're going to set this aside while we cut out the main body shape here of Mudeng. So you notice too that from the drawing to this, there are like none of the wrinkle lines for Mudeng. Mudeng does not have any like straight, does not have any lines for like her little wrinkles. It's all just sort of one big paper blob, and you will quilt those details in. And you'll also be able to stitch down the little sections so that they don't come apart. But let me tell you, this fusible is really excellent. And of all the years that I've used it, I have not had pieces come back up. And to me, Heat and Bond Light is the most manageable when it comes to just the amount of fusible that you can sew through. Okay, it's extremely sewable, and that is so important with a project like this, because you're going to be quilting through it, and you want that to work. So we're continuing to cut all of this out, and we're getting almost to the end here. These straight lines go really fast. And it's all the little details that you end up having a lot of fancy parts to trim, like that. And this little ear, so cute. Oh, we did forget the pink ear. We're gonna have to go back and do that. That one I did forget. I knew there was one piece I was forgetting. We did the eyes. Okay, so here is Mudeng's body out of gray. And there was one little foot. And we're just going to cut around it. Okay. And then there's like one little foot that goes way under here, underneath the belly. Okay, so we've got that part from Mudeng. And we have all of this here that's white. And as you can see, I'm not cutting the individual pieces out yet. I'm just kind of cutting out the blob. And then we will put those down. And then we have Mudeng's eyes. And there we've got one eye. Two eyes. Okay. So like I said on the original drawing here, we've got a little ear, a little inside ear. That's going to be pink as well. So we have to go back in here and draw that. Okay, just like that. And now we can cut this piece like so. Oh, I'm so excited about this. You have no idea. I'm so happy about this little Moodang. I was telling Charlie about what I was going to do tonight because I couldn't get the microscope to work. And he was like, I guess it's like really popular. It's a zeitgeist moment for our little Moodang. So I've got that. And then we just cut her out of fabric. And I'm just going to take a second to do that. All right. And now we want to press Moodang herself, her body, onto some gray fabric. Remember, she's a little pygmy hippo. Oh, we have the white here, so why don't we do the white pieces? And again, you want to press and flatten out your fabric first, and then you can put your fusible right on. And I mean, you do not need to iron this. Like, you do not need to really heat this a lot. Heat and bond light is like a quick 1, 2, 3 and stuck down. So we've got these, we've got these, and we have the little eyes, which I have a little piece of black for that. And so let's cut that out. And again, I like to press it before I do anything with it. And we're going to take these two things and press. And they are stuck. 1, 2, 3. And so now we have left is Moodang's body herself. Okay. And here is the gray fabric, which I have a lot of. And I really am just going to use one small area of it. So I'm just going to find a spot here. Now, again, I want this to be somewhat close to the cut edge. I don't want to use like a whole piece of this fabric. I'm trying to make sure that I press it to get all these wrinkles out. I don't want that in my final body shape. Okay, so it's going to take a second here. Oh, I got all kinds of stuff stuck to me. So we're going to press out these wrinkles so that that wrinkle does not show up in our final piece. And so that's really important here, is to get those wrinkles out before you press the rest of your fabric down. Okay. And I like to be pretty thorough here because, again, we're trying to make sure that this is very, 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 very flat before we put these fusible pieces on here. Okay. And so just making sure that we get a spot, especially one that's big enough for the fusible piece. And so here's the fusible. And that looks like that's a good spot. And there's also the little foot. Okay, so we want to make sure positioned. And we're just going to give it a good pressing. And I'm excited about this little project. I've always loved making little cartoon creatures, and Mudang is no different. So, okay. So, now I can cut this out from the rest of the fabric, which is what I'm going to do here, so that I am not trying to wrestle like this 2-yard piece. Because the next important part here is to cut it away from the, and have an ironable piece. Okay. All right. And so here's Mudang's body. Find a spot for that. We've got Mudang's pieces of color, and we're going to cut this piece out. So we have that. Okay. So here's all the pieces, and we're just ready to start cutting around. And let's do this. We're going to this is super fun. Like, I love this. When I did my quilt a week project, this is kind of how I did them. I would come up with a design, and then I would sit and like make all the pieces, and then I would basically like design the little quilt and fuse it all together, and then I would quilt it, and I would have so much fun, So we've got the little body pieces. Now we've got all these little white things. These are her glistening moisturized skin. I'm telling you, that's what makes Mudang Mudang. Right? Mudang would not be Mudang unless she had that beautiful moisturized skin. So amazing. And voila. So we've got all these little white parts that were, and these are important to, like, you're going to refer back to your picture if you can't remember where these go. Your photo or your drawing is going to be what helps you remember that. That to me has been like, it's always a lifesaver when it comes to like, how am I going to put this whole thing down? So, but it does go fast when you think about it. Excuse me. So we've got Mudang coming into view here. We're getting there. I absolutely adore drawing like little crazy characters, and so many people have been doing adorable drawings of Mudang. And for those of you that don't know, that there's like a whole culture of meme goodness about Mudang, the pygmy hippo. And she is ungovernable, very angry little adorableness creature. And I mean, how can you not love a little baby pygmy hippo? She was just born, I think, like October 1st, and everybody just loves Mudang. Okay, so these are all cut out now, And we're going to cut out the eye. And then we are going to cut out the body. And this is going to go together, like, at this point, really fast. So, I am very excited. So, yeah, I did many years of quilt drawings and things like that of characters, and this one is no different. She is so I would do like these like internet cats, like when cats would become internet famous, I would do a quilt of them, and people would say, how did you do that so quickly? Like, this cat only became a sensation yesterday. And I'm like, this is how it happens. You just draw a little drawing, and you glue her together, and you are done. And that's just how it goes. So I really adore it. It's kind of got like, that internet famousness of things, which just cracks me up how fast things become internet famous. Okay. So here we are getting down to her little feet. And there are people who are like, I don't know if I could think about quilting this, or I don't know how I would quilt this. I got some pretty straightforward ideas on how to quilt it, but that is also part of the fun. Okay. And so here's the other like almost tricky part, but not quite. We've got the little feet. It's getting there. I'm so excited, you guys. You have no idea. These little corners sometimes can be a little tricky. All right, so there is we're darn near finished. And all right, so all right, well, and then the other part is, I don't know if you noticed, but Mudang is going to be pointing the other way, just like the picture. Okay, so Mudang facing this way. I'm so excited, you guys. You have no idea. All right. So we've got Mudang. And now we're going to take the little pieces, and we're going to peel the paper backing off of the fusible. And we're going to stick them into place. Oh my goodness. So cute. OMG. I am so excited. I know. It's not for everybody, but it is for me. And I don't know if you've fallen in love with Mudang like I have. I am rather enamored with this creature. And I am so excited. Yes. Oh, so cute. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's get this eyeball. Come on now. Oh, there we go. Oh, how can you not love Moodang, the pygmy hippo? I mean, come on. Just stinking cute. Just so cute. Yeah, you guys. No. There's like not enough love that I cannot have, right? It's like, how can you not love this? All right, let's get this. This is the hard part, is peeling the paper off the back. Okay. But just, oh, just adorable. Right? Like you can't not love this. Okay. We're getting there. I know. You're like, come on, Cheryl. Work faster. Her little moisturized body, it's just too adorable. Right? So cute. OMG, you guys. Like, this is too stinking adorable. All right, here we go. We're almost there. Oh, we've got the ear. I almost forgot the ear again. I mean, come on. So cute. This one is really tough. It's very small piece. Sometimes I need to use a pin to separate the fabric from the glue. There we go. And we've got her little ear. I forgot this piece. Just like I forgot making it. You know? Goes to show you. All right. So there. Then we have to remember where this goes. And I think it was like right here. So this is where you take a look at your drawing. And what I like to do is to set it and start looking like where your placements are and see if they're in the right place before you do anything else. And I almost don't need that extra spot there. And then the last leg will be done last. So, all right. So then it's just a matter of fusing, and that's where we come in and we just very lightly press and very lightly press and very lightly. And I mean just the lightest touch. And before you think that this is like all finished, we do have like the mouth to put in and like the other eye if we want it. We may not want it. We have like stitching to do. We have just a couple more things, but my friends like a little bitty moodang. And once we get the rest of this like fused down and stitched out, I'm very excited. It's almost done. Okay, so next week we'll be finished with this, my friends. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Hope you get some sewing done. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see all of you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.